All right, so the Cullinan's gone for service. The M3 is on the other side, but we have Mr. J Taza here today, who happened to be in the area, brought his Bumblebee Huracán EVO coupe along. I've actually never rode along in his car. Another gloomy day, still cold, still making no sense of the weather here in Canada. Well, not Canada, I can't say Canada because it's kind of odd. The other side, where usually it typically is more colder, like places like Winnipeg, it's actually warmer, it's like 25 degrees. But for us, we're dealing with another 8 to 10 degree temperature weather. We're about to hit June this weekend in like literally a few days.
Everything just...
Mr. Taza with the Bumblebee. Huh?
It looks better here, man.
Why?
Just the scenery and everything.
I was gonna say we'll take the M3, but you know what? I made just started off the vlog pretty much saying that we haven't hopped in the Bumblebee yet.
Bro, look at this. I gotta show you.
What happened?
Special
At least
delivery.
look at this. So we're almost in. Well, the car's fully PPF'd anyways, but we are almost end of well, a few days away from June, and you wouldn't think you'd see so much, you know, just debris from like the rain and like, but you still see it.
That's horrible, man.
That's all right. What were you saying you were gonna show me? All right, so I get to be passenger today.
All right,
Mr. Taza.
I think, bro, this is your first time in the car.
This is the first time.
I think so. I haven't seen sunlight in this car in like a month.
In a month, or I think we only had one good day.
Yeah, we just been driving in rain.
So this is, for anyone who is familiar with cars will know, this is a Huracán EVO. So I would say a Huracán for anyone. It's not to do with anything with price point, but Huracans in general are your number one best bet supercars. Especially now with the Huracán EVOs, you'll see that the interiors are super nice. They're updated with the tech, of course. But today we're going to do a mixture of talk about the Huracán EVO and about what Mr. J here does. But first, starting off with the Huracán EVO.
How do you like it though, bro?
I think these are one of the best cars, period. And the reason why I say that is because you got to remember, it's a full DCT, very well driving cars. So I know everyone goes for the hype with the Aventadors, the doors up and all that, but a lot of people tend to forget that our single clutch cars, they're a lot bigger, bulkier, so
and they're comfortable, very comfy.
But Huracans are very comfortable too.
True.
Right? Huracans are very comfortable cars. I'm not sure how the audio is going to be with everyone that's able to hear kind of the engine, right? Why don't you do a few downshifts? Drive like a car.
Drive like a man.
Drive like a man. Right? Downshift. There you go. See, factory, the blurbles. Great driving cars because you have the DCT transmission. They drive very well. If you really want the car to be aggressive, you go and get a tune, get an exhaust, whatever you want to do. But factory, the cars are amazing. Look at that. Downshift.
Never get old, bro.
I want you, Jay, to talk about your car. You built this car from, you spec'd it out the way you wanted it. Why did you spec it the way you spec'd it?
So, I know you always say, yo, the color this, but honestly, I always wanted a yellow one. But in 2022, at the time when it was very hard to get allocations, I was lucky enough to, you know, get a allocation from downtown. So at that point, yeah, ordered from factory, brand new. At that, they weren't making the 4-wheel drive anymore at that time. So I got the rear-wheel drive after 2022. Even the STO, the Technica, they only came rear-wheel. So ordered that, spec'd it to my liking, and yeah.
What was your, you remember what your build was? The MSRP point. The reason why I want to reiterate that.
Yeah, I think after everything, like 340 or 350.
So you got this for a very good deal.
Yeah.
340, 350 plus tax.
Plus tax, yeah.
And that was when these were going, they were around the 400 mark at that point. Yeah. So because you did your custom factory order, you got the car for a very good deal. Now, for anyone that is not aware of this, but Huracans, like when the first ones came out, like the 15s to the 17s, when they went from the 610 to the 580s, the 580 rear-wheel drive, 610 all-wheel drive version, the previous ones, the MSRPs, depending on the builds, weren't that big. They were maybe in the mid 250 range, around the 250s. Then after that is when the EVOs came out. The EVOs took a bit of a jump in price, MSRP, not for retail market value. But the MSRP jumped quite a bit into the 300s. Then when after the Evos, the Technicas came out. Technicas hit, you know, in the 4s.
400, yeah.
Right, in the 4s. And that's leaving aside, what they were selling for over MSRP. At some points they were 50, 60, 70, 80K over. Then you got into STOs. STOs at one point were like $100,000 to $150,000 over MSRP.
Yo, what was the MSRP for STO?
STO depended on the build, but you were anywhere from 500 to 580. The earlier STOs, the 21s, some of them were even in the 470, 480. Low build ones were 470, 480. My build, I remember, was a 530 build. So it was a 530. It was a good build. But you know, at one point STOs hit 700 grand on the retail market. Now, why that is important is to look at what the, how do you pronounce the new one? Temerario.
That's like 650 plus.
Yeah, they're like so a moderate build on a, I can't say it. Temerario. The moderate build on that one, that new model of the Huracan, the replacement. Yeah, right. You're paying in the mid 600 range mark, 600 to 650 before tax, and this is based on what they are here in Canada, and that's MSRP. I don't see at that price point that car going over, you know, over MSRP. But that I believe, like, I didn't ever think I'd see from factory, not on the retail market, but from factory, Huracans going for over $500,000.
Yeah.
Now the question is if you are someone who's in the market to buy a Huracan today, are you gonna settle for? It's crazy to say this, but Huracan, the first models, the 2015s, the 610s, are now 10 years, a decade old.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that they're a decade old. But would you go for, you know, the 610s, or would you go for 580s, just better handling, slightly less power? That's not the biggest, you know, deal with them. But would you settle for one of those at the price points that they are? And it's crazy because those ones still go for around the MSRP mark.
Yeah.
They're still selling for the same money as what they were back in 2015. So the one at least good thing about this car is it does have cup holders, but with all this movement, not a good idea to use the cup holders. Like, you literally just pop it out right here. But for anyone that's always talking shit about you know, these cars, not
everyone wants a cup holder. Like, it's literally useless. You're never gonna use it.
As soon as you put the coffee in, it's gonna spill anyways. So what's the point? You gotta hold it anyways.
Yeah. Shit, hold on.
Okay, so we're trying to see if
it doesn't even fit, bro.
We're trying to see if what this guy said, he'll take his word back.
Look, it doesn't even go. Okay, maybe I'm just
without the sleeve. No.
Okay, hold on. Okay, is it just me or am I friggin'?
You're really struggling with this.
There. Hopefully it stays.
That is your cup holder.
There you go, man. Now also you gotta have the farmer's wrap with it.
But this is, I'm pretty sure you could tell now by what I meant by when you're driving. So now we're parked up while Jay eats. So that's why we're trying to see if this is actually functional. I don't think this is functional while you're driving.
I don't think so.
No.
I wouldn't trust it in there.
No, while we're parked up, it's all right. But like, yeah, I would not trust this while driving. And especially if you're alone and you're driving, that coffee spills, it's game over. But while Jay does eat, I will show everyone one thing that Jay does. So everyone knows Jay as Mr. Taza. So he's cheating on Taza right now, eating Tim Hortons Farmer's Wrap. But
so good.
Now, for anyone that doesn't really know Jay yet, so Jay runs Taza Express, which is shawarma. Oh, after he's done eating, we'll talk about that. But it's a shawarma shop, retail store that they have 9 locations, 10?
11
locations,
yeah.
And 3 pending opening.
Correct,
so
yeah.
that would put them up to about 14 by the time those are open. But also Jay does Melee Toronto, which is, I'm gonna try to talk on Jay's behalf.
Yeah.
We have, so this is a wedding ring that Jay has made. And was there something else in there?
That's just like the paperwork.
The paperwork for it. Okay, sorry.
So that's well, I mean, for people who know, it's a 1.5 carat E-color like engagement ring.
Yeah.
For one of my very special clients. So I'm gonna be delivering that today after.
So Melee Toronto. This is something that Jay specializes in, but mainly it's the diamond rings, right?
Diamond rings, watches. We do watches as well. Rolex, Patek.
Yeah.
AP.
Got it.
But specialize in engagement rings, custom.
Perfect. And then so it's pretty much Taza and Mele. Those are your two main focuses.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
Anything else?
For now, that's it, man. Yeah.
More than enough?
More than enough.
Happy and content?
You know what? Like, because you want to specialize in a few things too, right?
Yeah.
So I know some people get into too many things and they're not, you know, kind of succeeding because they're in too many places at once.
Time
right?
management. The problem is 24 hours in a day,
Exactly.
not enough hours.
Yeah.
As we kind of get older, you start realizing that as much as we think we have a lot of time in the day, that really runs thin, and you realize that you get so busy to the point, especially when you're trying to kind of progress and do more with work, especially, that there are not enough hours in a day when you have to balance when it's family, sleep, just, you know, your friends and work. You realize if you have 10 different businesses and how you're going to dedicate or split those 12, 13 hours that you plan to work on through the day, through those businesses, or 10 hours. If what are you going to dedicate an hour per business a day? Unless you're very good at micromanaging stuff, it's very hard. That's why, same thing with me. I have two main businesses, a third one that I have as well, but my priority is the main two because I can't allocate any more time to anything else. I'm already as busy enough. Well, a few times here and there, we sneak in these random vlogs.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we hope everyone's enjoying.
Really on the run, eating, working, drinking coffee, like
talking about his Huracán EVO and enjoying our gloomy Canadian weather, parked up on a side road while Jay finishes wrap.
Exactly.
Talking about Mele, Toronto.
This is the only time I'm sure Amin has to eat too.
Yeah. But yeah, we're doing this for everyone, and we hope that everyone is enjoying and want to be more active, want to make sure that we are able to create enough content for everyone. So when you do recommend to us what you want to see, it helps a lot to be able to put more of that content out there. So the vlogs, we're getting a little bit more active with more of the car content. Do you guys want to see more, whether it's day to day, what we do? So slowly kind of introduce all of our friends and show everyone just, hey, we're all just normal people just like everyone else, and cars are our hobby, our passion. We love cars, but at the end of the day, work, balance, everything, it's kind of juggling everything. And the cars are great and all, but they're an accessory to life. So there's a lot more than just the cars, but I know my channel is more primarily 95% about cars. So if there's something else you want to see more of, let me know.
Bro, I think they want to see you do some unboxings, bro.
Yeah,
just unbox some stuff, man.
My wheels actually came in there. Shout out to Amir from NWL Forged. They're at Tire Connection, Rafi's shop. So I think I should make a video of unboxing the rims as well, right? Yeah. We'll do that. And other than that,
yeah, have your farmer's wrap and coffee and get to work.
Okay, now back home, and this is what Jay was talking about. This has to be washed. Don't worry, the car is PPF'd. It's not a big deal, but I'm sure a lot can appreciate that we aren't scared to drive the cars. We do drive them, enjoy them. The whole purpose of having these cars, of course, is to enjoy them. But very gloomy weather, has not gotten any better whatsoever, and that's pretty much it. So Rafi right now from Tire Connection is going to send me a video of the rims. They have arrived at Tire Connection. Now I just got to wait for all the other stuff to arrive, what I've ordered for the SVJ, which was the lowering springs and some of the other stuff. So now we got the rims, the lowering springs, we're going to tint the windows, exhaust, send out the ECU for the tune. A little bit of a process to get everything done, and this thing, can't wait till it's done. Finally, some sun came out and getting both of them washed. Teji's here. Finally, a bit of sunlight. Let's take advantage of the little bit of sunlight that we just got. So shout out to Teji for coming through. All right, now washed, parked the SVJ, looking clean, perfect. Cullinan is gonna get washed when it's on the way back, parked up as well. But yeah, they're looking nice and clean now, thanks DG. And again, today's vlog was a little bit shorter, different, a lot more talking, a lot more different, but at least we got some sunshine. that's a huge plus. We were able to wash the cars. Happy Friday to every single person. Thank you, everyone.